And finally, with the thematic synthesis, I did find gaps in the literature with respect to either the long-term effects of directly linking a patient to community providers and addressing SDOH needs, um, uh, mainly over 2 years. But at the same time, despite the fact that MAT and CBI were provided, um, how did it affect patients that are persistently in a low socioeconomic situation with possibly segregated minority areas and a history of trauma? Um, so those variables do need to be looked at in more detail. It could be that it did not search those key terms. But in the future, I think we could go into searching those key terms in association with releasing of this population. Um, Best practices to initiate community systems that employ peer community navigators to support releasing incarcerated individuals. What that means is I didn't see how communities and counties um, uh, employed best practices for community peer support or peer navigators or community navigators to continue with the care of that patient, to provide the proper direction, some guidelines, some resources, and really be there as support for that patient as they get reintegrated back to the community. So more research is definitely needed on that. This focus was very directly intended to address more of the evidence-based treatment that is necessary during and upon release to prevent the negative outcomes. The timeline of therapeutic community housing upon release to prevent relapse and recidivism. So therapeutic communities, again, are housing units that have the same type of patients who are in treatment for OUD, who are in remission, who are recovering, or who may be relapsing, but they're definitely still motivated to continue treatment. And the question is, and the lack of literature is, how do we continue a setting in the community to provide the same concept at a more consistent rate rather than releasing them to the community provider to their transitional housing, but not having that full support